to the Chiefs, first seed, AFC, obvious favorites. I know in your power ranking, I thought it was interesting. You had the Bills at number 1.
I do.
And I want to see it. Does this mean, Adam, do you feel like the Chiefs might be on upset alert? The Browns coming into town, not really known to be a playoff team, usually suck, but you saw what they did to the Steelers. They were up at 1.280.
Oh yeah, 35-7 at one point, man. It was an ugly one. They got ugly quick.
Do you think they ride that momentum and beat the Chiefs? Any chance that happens?
There's definitely a chance that happens, and here's why. You look at Patrick Mahomes to finish the season. He had 5 straight games of under 100 passer rating. That was the longest stretch of his career. You look at games like when he played teams that he really should have been able to put away, like close games with the Panthers. Credit to these teams that I'm about to name that were close with Kansas City. Close games to the Panthers, close games to the Falcons, a really close game with 3 interceptions against the Dolphins. Like, games like that are eventually going to catch you, and I had said it last year. Actually, that was my Christmas present for the Kansas City Chiefs, was to be able to keep a lead, specifically because I didn't think Mahomes was going to be able to work that magic for a second postseason in a row. Going back to the Browns definitely have momentum right now. They were just obviously able to go out and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers the way that they did. But, I said it yesterday on my buddy's show, and I'm glad we have a different perspective here for me to be able to kind of phrase it in a different way. With the Browns all year, I feel like people, like, we see the record, we see the yards, we see the points, like, we see the players, we see the talent on that team, but we're still just holding on to something. Like, we just still don't want to give it to Cleveland just yet. And I totally get that. They're inexperienced. They're young. For they didn't even have Kevin Stefanski in that game. I had the Steelers winning. I even said, and I'm eating my words right now, I even said the Steelers could potentially roll. And the Steelers got rolled by the Cleveland Browns. You look at, like I said, man, the Chiefs have been sleepwalking for a while. They're off the bye. So if you think about it, technically right now, the Chiefs and the Packers are the rustiest teams in the NFL. They have had the least amount of playing time by the time they get back onto the field because they had that week off. Is Mahomes going to be able to adjust to that after playing with a slump? I'm confident Kansas City is going to be able to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl, but a team like Cleveland could stop them, because the 2 ways to beat Kansas City: run the football and rush the passer. And they do 2 things very well. Mahomes is not himself when he gets rushed. You look at the games like both times against the Raiders, against the Falcons, against the Saints. When you get pressure on him, he's not the same guy. And it also goes hand in hand with the statement, any piss poor quarterback can be great if you put him behind a great offensive line. Kansas City has a great O-line, but it's starting to break at times. And if you can run the ball on them, that should have been New Orleans' formula for when they went and played, or when Kansas City came into town and played them. Alvin Kamara only ran the ball. I think in total, the Saints ran the ball less than 20 times the whole game. The Browns cannot do that and expect to win this football game. So if they can make Mahomes not comfortable and they can run that ball for, at a bare minimum, 150 yards, they have all the chance in the world to win this football game. And the Browns are on to something now, man. They beat the Steelers 2 out of the last 3 times. I get it. One time, the starters weren't there, but they did what they had to do. And the second time, I know it was in the playoffs, whatever you want to call it, a weird year, whatever. They won. They're going to be on to something now. Stefanski's back. Baker's got the monkey off of his back of just a playoff win in general and being that leader. Now let's see what Cleveland does as they go into Arrowhead.
I agree with you. I think Baker actually has a better game against the Chiefs because now he's feeling loose. He's not feeling like, I have to win the playoff game.
He had to rise above.
Exactly. And they have the running game. They got their coach back. I think it's going to be a close one. I think this game's a toss-up. I agree with you on that one. I think this game will be a toss-up. I think they'll get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. My thing is, I think maybe a late game drive, you'll see Patrick Mahomes' greatness. He'll make a couple weird plays here and there. Their defense will get a tip.
That's what makes him so hard to beat.
I think that experience with Andy Reid, him getting the monkey off his back last year, he's coaching more relaxed. I think that the Chiefs win. It's going to be tight, though. I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland is up in the first quarter, if Cleveland is up in the second quarter, if Cleveland's up in the third quarter. But at the end of the day, I think the experience is going to prevail for the Chiefs. I still think there's a possibility the Chiefs might not make the Super Bowl, but it won't be losing to the Browns. I think the Browns will make it a close game. It'll be a respectable game. They might even have to lead the first 3 quarters, but I do see the Chiefs closing them out. Maybe a 27-24 ugly game.